regime would collapse.
Mohamed, sorry to interrupt. Quick pause, because the Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, is actually speaking from Istanbul at this OIC meeting that we've been covering. Here he is.
Measures taken by Iran to defend its people in the face of this state terrorism of Israel within the framework of self-defense are measures which are quite natural, legitimate, and legal. Dear brothers and sisters, what we are seeing day by day is the following. It is clear now that these aggressions, these aggressive actions, which violate international law, serve Israel's policy of strategic destabilization in the region. Of course, it is significant that the attacks took place at a time when negotiations on Iran's nuclear program were intensifying. Israel is not subject to any control or audit for its nuclear activities and does not care about anyone in terms of transparency. So it is a great hypocrisy for them to talk against the parties to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. The Netanyahu government actually aimed to undermine the negotiation process with its attacks on the 13th of June. This incident also shows that Netanyahu and his murder ring do not want any issues or any matters to be solved diplomatically. Again, Israel, instead of living in peace side by side with an independent and geographically integrated Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital on the basis of the 1967 borders, instead of coexisting with them, Israel is rather trying to spread the war to the entire region. Just as the spark ignited by Hitler 90 years ago set the whole world on fire, from the Pacific to the Atlantic, from the Indian Ocean to the North Sea, today, similarly, Netanyahu's Zionist ambitions have no other purpose than to drag our region and, in fact, the whole world into a big disaster. Targeting the sanctity of Masjid-i-Aqsa, our first Qibla, attempting to hijack the historical status of Al-Quds al-Sharif. Now, these are intentions to divide our region with some maps in mind. And these even now being talked about in the public. We see all of these as moves of an insidious plan. We are, in fact, well aware of what Netanyahu wants to do. Those who think that they can establish their security by drowning the region in fire, in conflict, chaos, and in tears are following a crude dream. Israel cannot ensure its own security by threatening the security of its own neighbors. They will gradually see that things may not go as planned. Israel's claim that it will establish order in our region with its bloody hands reveals the blindness and darkness of those who govern that country. I would like to emphasize here that Turkey will not allow the establishment of a new Sykes-Picot order in our region, the borders of which will be drawn with blood. We will not sit back and watch the people of Gaza being punished with hunger, with state and settler terror in the West Bank, and attempts to destroy the historical status quo of Al-Aqsa Mosque and Jerusalem, the cradle of the Abrahamic religions. From here, I once again appeal to the international community, especially to the countries that have influence over Israel.
Netanyahu'nun çatışmaları daha da derinleştirmek amacıyla söylediği
No one should pay attention to Netanyahu's poisonous words wrapped in praise in an attempt to exacerbate the conflict. Our region cannot afford a new war or instability. What we need is common sense, restraint, caution, never to fall into the hedonisms of covering up a wrong with a bigger wrong. Today, let's emphasize once again that the solution lies in diplomacy and in dialogue. We are in fact ready to do whatever falls on us, including facilitation. Since the 13th of June, we have made serious efforts to restore calm. And we have really made some efforts. Inshallah, hopefully, we'll continue these contacts patiently until we get actual results. Distinguished ministers, distinguished friends, under the current circumstances, the achievement of a two-state solution has become all the more vital. We should continue to encourage more countries to recognize the state of Palestine. And we must continue to coordinate our efforts to take coercive measures against Israel on the basis of international law and on the basis of the Charter of the United Nations. We hope that the international conference to advance the two-state solution, which was planned to be held in New York this week under the leadership of Saudi Arabia, but was postponed due to the recent attacks. We hope this meeting will be organized at the earliest opportunity. And I wish Saudi Arabia success in this initiative. Of course, I have to underline the following as well. Like between two siblings who are children of the same mother, there may possibly be differences of opinion, and these are actually natural facts of life. Likewise, these are also natural facts of politics and diplomacy. But being brothers or sisters also means sharing the same destiny. For example, the fate of Istanbul is not separate from the fate of Damascus or the fate of Baghdad, that of Cairo, Sana'a, the fate of Islamabad, for example, or